Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to our storytelling circle. Close your eyes for just a moment and breathe. Have you ever wondered what makes someone truly beautiful? Is it the clothes they wear, the jewels around their neck, the way their hair shines in the sunlight? Or is it something deeper, something that cannot be touched or seen but only felt? Today, I want to tell you a story about a girl named Jahiti. A girl who wore an ugly dress, but had a heart so pure, so bright, that it could not be hidden no matter how dark the world around her became. This is a story of jealousy, of danger, of love that does not fade. And it begins long ago in a small village where a merchant once lived with his family. Are you ready? Then let us begin.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a merchant. He was not a rich man, but he was a good man. He had a wife and a daughter. And oh, how he loved his daughter. Her name was Jahidi. Jahidi was kind. She was gentle. She was good. Her heart was soft like the first snow of winter. Her voice was sweet like the song of a bird at dawn. And she was beautiful, not because of her clothes, not because of gold or jewels, but because when people looked at her, they felt warmth, they felt peace. But then something terrible happened. Jahidi's mother became sick, and one cold, dark night, she passed away. The house became silent. The lights seemed to disappear. Jahidi's father was heartbroken. He could not eat. He could not sleep. He wandered through the house like a ghost. And so, after some time passed, he decided to marry again. He thought perhaps a new wife could bring life back into their home. Perhaps she could help him care for Jahidi, but he was wrong. Oh, dear friends, he was so wrong. The new wife came into the house with a daughter of her own. And from the very first day, the stepmother's heart was cold toward Jahidi. Why? Because the stepmother saw how beautiful Jahidi was, how kind she was, how people smiled when they saw her. And her stepmother's own daughter? She was not like Jahidi. She was lazy. She did not work. She did not help. And though her mother loved her, others did not. The stepmother grew jealous. Jealousy is a terrible thing, my friends. It grows in the heart like a dark seed, and if you water it with anger, with bitterness, it becomes a dangerous, poisonous tree. The stepmother began to treat Jahidi very badly. She gave her old, torn clothes to wear. She gave her only small pieces of bread to eat. She made Jahidi work all day, fetching water from the river, cleaning the house, washing the dishes. But her own daughter? She gave her everything. New dresses, white and clean, gold jewelry, soft shoes. Jahidi's father saw this, and his heart ached, but he said nothing.
He was too sad, too tired, too broken. And so the days passed. Jahiti worked. She obeyed. She was kind, even when the world was not kind to her. If you're enjoying this story, dear friends, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can learn more English through stories with us. Your support helps me continue bringing these tales to you every day. One day, the stepmother decided it was time. Time for her daughter to find a husband. She dressed her in the most beautiful white dress. She put gold jewelry around her neck. She brushed her hair until it shined. "Go to the market," the stepmother said. "Walk through the crowd. Let the young men see you. Surely one of them will fall in love with you." But Jahiti's father heard this, and he said, "If your daughter goes, then Jahiti must go too." The stepmother's face turned red with anger, but she could not say no. And so both girls went to the market. The stepsister walked proudly in her new white dress and gold jewelry, but Jahiti, she walked behind her in an old, dirty dress. Her feet were bare. Her hair was simple. And yet, when they reached the market, something magical happened. A young man was there, handsome, strong, kind-looking. He was with his friends. And when he saw the two girls, he stopped. He looked at the stepsister in her beautiful white dress, and then he looked at Jahiti, and his heart opened. He began to sing. His friends joined him. Their voices rang out through the market. "Who do we like? Who is the best? Here's an ugly girl in a new white dress. We say no to her, but we say yes to the beautiful girl in the ugly dress." The stepsister's face turned red. She was so angry, so ashamed. But Jahiti? She looked down. She said nothing, but inside, her heart felt warm. Someone saw her, not her dress, not her bare feet, but her. The stepmother was furious. How could this happen, she thought. How could they choose Jahiti over my daughter? She had an idea. The next week, she made the girls switch clothes. This time, she said to her daughter, "You will wear the old dress, and Jahiti will wear the new white dress." "Surely they will be confused. Surely they will choose you." And so they went back to the market. The stepsister wore the old, ugly dress, and Jahiti wore the new, clean white dress. The young man was there again, waiting. And when he saw them, he smiled. He was not confused, not even for a moment. He looked at Jahiti, beautiful in her white dress, and he sang again. "Who do we like? Who is the best? Now she's a beautiful girl in a beautiful dress. We say yes to her, we will not rest. She is the one we love the best." And then the young man stepped forward. He looked into Jahiti's eyes, and he said softly, clearly, I will marry you. You and no one else. Jahiti's heart filled with light, but the stepmother's heart, it filled with darkness. Dear friends, if this story is touching your heart, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It truly helps me continue creating these beautiful stories for you. That night, the stepmother could not sleep. Jealousy burned inside her like a fire. Jahiti, she thought, always Jahiti. Why? Why is she loved? Why is she chosen? And then a terrible thought entered her mind. If I cannot make my daughter more beautiful than Jahiti, then I must make Jahiti disappear. She called her daughter to her side, and in a low, cold voice, she said, Listen carefully, my daughter. Tomorrow, you will take Jahiti to the forest. Tell her you are going to prepare a place for her wedding, a bridal platform in the trees. Yes, mother, the daughter said. When you are near the river, the stepmother continued, tell her to fetch water. But first, you must place laga bark on the stones near the water. It is slippery, wet, dangerous. She will step on it, and she will fall into the river. The daughter's eyes widened. And then? She asked. And then, the stepmother said, her voice like ice, that will be the end of her. The next morning, the stepsister took Jahiti into the forest. Come, sister, she said, her voice false and sweet. We must prepare your wedding place. Jahiti followed her, trusting, kind as always. They walked deep into the forest. The trees grew thick. The air grew cold. And then they came to the river. Sister, the stepsister said, I am thirsty. Could you fetch me some water? Of course, Jahiti said. She walked toward the river. But she did not see the laga bark, wet, slippery, hidden on the stones. She stepped on it, and her foot slipped. She fell down, down, down into the cold, dark water. She tried to swim. She tried to call out, but something grabbed her. Something strong, something terrible. A voice, deep and cold, whispered in her ear, You are mine now, and I will never let you go. It was a demon, a wicked creature who lived in the river, and Jahiti was trapped. The stepsister ran home. Mother, mother, she cried. It worked. She fell. She is gone. The stepmother smiled a dark smile. But when Jahiti's father came home that evening and asked, Where is Jahiti? The stepmother lied. She ran away, she said. She went out this morning and never came back. The father's face went pale. "No," he whispered. "No, not my Jahidi. She would not leave me." He searched the village. He called her name, but she did not answer. Days passed. The father stopped eating. He stopped drinking. He would sit by the window and say over and over, "I will not drink. I will not eat. I want my child, my daughter sweet." The bridegroom came to the house. "Where is Jahidi?" he asked. "We were to be married." "She ran away," the stepmother said again. But the bridegroom did not believe her. He too began to search. One day, the father's grief became too much. He could not bear it any longer. "Take me to the river," he said to the stepmother. "Take me to the place where she used to fetch water. I must call for her there." The stepmother had no choice. She took him to the river, and the father stood at the water's edge, and he cried out, "Jahidi, my daughter, where are you?" And then a voice came from the water, soft, sad, but clear. "I have no mother. My father's wife brought me here to take my life." The stepmother froze. The village girls who were nearby heard it too. "Did you hear that?" they whispered. "It is Jahidi. She is in the river." The truth could not be hidden any longer. The bridegroom heard the news. His heart broke, but it also filled with determination. "She is alive," he thought, "and I will save her." He went to the river. He called to her. And there, beneath the dark water, he saw her. Thin, pale, sad, held by the demon. "I will come back for you," he whispered. "Wait for me." Every day he returned. He brought food, his own food, and dropped it into the water for her. She ate, and slowly she grew stronger. But he grew weaker. His father noticed. "My son," he said, "you are becoming thin. What is wrong?" The bridegroom told him everything, and his father, wise and kind, said, "Then we must act. We will kill a large bull. We will throw the meat into the river. The demon will be distracted, and Jahidi can escape." And so they did. They killed the bull. They threw the meat into the river. The demon, greedy and hungry, swam toward it. "Now!" the bridegroom called. "Jahidi, now!" She swam. She pushed through the water. She was so close. But then another demon appeared. Blind, old, angry. It grabbed her. It would not let go. Jahidi screamed. She fought. And in the struggle, the demon tore at her chest. It ripped away her breast, but she did not stop. With all her strength, she broke free. She climbed out of the water, bleeding, gasping, alive. The bridegroom ran to her. He wrapped his arms around her. "You are safe,"
he whispered. But Yahiti looked down at herself, at her wound, at her body, and she began to cry. "I am safe," she said, her voice shaking, "but I am not beautiful now. Look at me. I have only one breast." The bridegroom took her face in his hands. He looked into her eyes and he said, "You are beautiful to me."
And so, dear friends, Jahiti and the bridegroom were married. They built a small house, they had children, many children, and they lived not a perfect life, but a happy life, because they had something that cannot be destroyed, not by demons, not by jealousy, not even by time. They had love, true love, the kind of love that sees the heart, not the body, the kind of love that does not fade. And Jahiti? She never forgot the girl in the ugly dress, the girl who was chosen not because she was perfect, but because she was real, because she was kind, because she was herself. And that, my friends, is the most beautiful thing of all. Now, let's look back at some words and ideas from today's story. 1. Jealousy. A feeling of anger or sadness when someone else has something you want. Example: the stepmother's jealousy made her do terrible things. 2. To fetch. To go and get something, then bring it back. Example: Jahiti went to fetch water from the river. 3. Demon. An evil spirit or creature, often from old stories and folk tales. Example: the demon trapped Jahiti in the river. 4. Loyalty. Staying true to someone even when things are difficult. Example: the bridegroom showed great loyalty by never giving up on Jahiti. 5. Inner beauty. The goodness and kindness inside a person, which is more important than how they look. Example: Jahiti's inner beauty was stronger than any dress or jewel. Reflection questions. Why did the young man choose Jahiti even when she wore an ugly dress? What made the stepmother's heart turn so dark? How did the bridegroom prove his love was real? Take a moment to think about these questions. And remember, true beauty always shines through. I upload new story videos to our channel every day for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support me so I can continue doing this. You can help me reach more people by subscribing, liking my videos, and commenting. Please don't forget to do these things. Thank you for listening, dear friends. Until tomorrow, may your heart stay kind and your spirit stay strong. Goodbye.